Hello, I'm Mark Baer. I'm with Elizabeth Murray. You're watching Conversations and Collaborations, and welcome.
Welcome to you.
Welcome, and we've done this before, but so I was here in the Art Walk, and that was what year, what month was that? That was September.
In September.
And then I came back, now we're in late December, and you had an open house last week, and I walked in the room, and there was massive change. And where we're sitting, I looked at these two new paintings behind me, and I go, there's a big drama going on here. Well, no one else, he's walking around seemed to notice there was a big drama going on. But I said, there's a big drama going on in Elizabeth Murray's life, because this is change.
Yeah.
What I saw, you're going someplace risky, you're getting out of your comfort zone, you're leaving some of your other paintings behind in a way. It's like, oh, these new kids are here, and every, there's all this stuff. And first of all, it is a drama. Risk and change in art are hard because you're going to leave people behind as well.
That's true.
So what's going on with you?
It's courage. And courage is connected to heart. It's connected to place. It's enough self-confidence to move forward and to open myself up. And part of that might even be my singing, to be singing on the edge, singing in Big Sur, singing in this wonderful way, finding my voice in new ways courageously, and wanting to find my own language. And, we're both writers. We both love to write.
So let's stop for a second. Let's kind of explain, because this is going to go by, oh, she's singing. Explain what's been going on with the singing. So just
I'm in the Wholehearted Choir with Lisa G. Littlebird, and half our choir is from Big Sur and half from Monterey. And for me, it is a place to really open up my heart and to find a shy voice and make it come forward. And even though I'm a public speaker, I'm really shy singer. It's helped me hold both grief and joy, which is kind of like painting, to hold fear and confidence, or like diving off the high dive. Yes, I can do it. And personal expression.
And Lisa's thing is allowing everybody to sing, and it's also coming from almost a primal and a primitive kind of place, and almost going back to what the tribal songs were, is part of what her thing is.
Well, we sing all kinds of songs, but everyone is welcome. All voices are welcome.
Yeah, it's interesting. She's doing really interesting work. So you've been doing that work.
Yeah, for a number of years, and I feel like that is helping me even with my painting and writing. To come to an authentic voice and to be able to be more comfortable with risk taking and with my own authenticity and vulnerability, which is what I am bringing to my painting.
So going from a representational style to a more of an essence of form and shape, and color, what's the surprise you're having? I mean, is this surprising you as much as anybody else?
Well, it's all about shape in the place, and I do my drawings on the land, right on the cliffs or right in Big Sur. I do all my drawings. So they're not made up shapes. And my colors, I've been sticking to the same 6 colors.
Let's talk about your rules, because it's all very Monet based and your studies with Monet. So let's break this down systematically.
Okay. So the colors I use, and if you look around the room, is tons of color. You don't think I'm shy about color. But I actually have limited myself to the 6 colors that Monet used. And so I don't use black, and so I mix everything. So all the colors have a harmony to them. They have a vibration and a harmony, which is, again, like the singing. They're all going to get along. Because they all are in the same family. They're all related. And when I do that, I learn my language better, and the colors will come to me during my sleep. So there becomes fluency when I'm mixing, and they'll talk to me, and I'll have conversations with the paintings and ask them what they need or what they want. Sounds odd, but I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And also I listen to a lot of poetry or spiritual things when I'm paint. Or sometimes I'm singing when I'm painting. So I bring in this heart and this language that I'm trying to reach.
So you're doing a dance, basically.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think of painting as a physical act. It's there's a lot of physicality.
Yeah, there is.
And then by the time you get to it, there shouldn't be much thinking going on. You should be entering that other world.
Well, I think it's a both and. There's a response.
Yeah.
Just like if you have a really good dance partner,
Yeah.
you know the steps, but you also are in response. And it's interesting right now. If doing these big paintings, I open up my garage door and I paint outside, and my little dog comes with me, but also I have this communication with these animals outside. So there's like a little black squirrel that comes to visit and painting this squirrel was watching me paint. And then 4 deer come up and they're watching me paint. It's kind of cool. It's kind of amazing.
So before we head on, let's just give our viewer a little bit of where we are.
This was Charles Rollo Peters' home, known as Peters Gate, and he built this home in 1900, and he had 30 acres, so many people know Peters Gate as part of Monterey. And when the 1906 earthquake happened in San Francisco, and all these friends of his, all these artists, lost everything, kind of like the fires we're experiencing today, he invited them down here, and he added on to this house and to a studio behind me, and he added 2 cottages and said, well, let's all live here and paint. And what do? You also have to sell your work. So they started an all California artist gallery at the old Del Monte, now the Navy Postgraduate School, in the tea room. And then they'd come back to this room and have like a salon, have a party, have poets like George Sterling and writers like Jack London read their manuscripts, and have the wealthy come up in a horse and buggy from
Del Monte Hotel.
Yeah, and come here, most beautiful hotel in the world, have these parties, drink wine, meet the artists, have good discussions like we're having, things that are meaningful, and fall in love and buy the art.
So you're part of a tradition, and Charles Rollo Peters, when I was at the museum, I had a chance to dig one out and live with it. So
good.
He's primarily known for his nocturnes.
Yes.
And these beautiful Monterey nocturnes.
Yes.
So it's so interesting, and that your work certainly is in that heritage. Coming out of the August Gay was part of that group.
Yeah.
There was some really fabulous art that came out of that time, and you're certainly in that tradition. But you're also in the Monet tradition. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think it's interesting that Charles Rollo Peters was a nocturne and used very dark colors.
Yeah.
And somber more. What do they call that? I forgot the name of that. And then there was 3 women painters from Monterey, McCormick being one, who went to Giverny, fell in love with the whole impressionist.
Evelyn McCormick, I believe.
Evelyn
Yes,
McCormick,
yes.
yeah, thank you. And fell in love with the beautiful quality of light, came back to Monterey, and what I say, brought back the light. And so with all these darker
And then
paintings.
E. Charlton Fortune is part of that group also,
Yes,
I believe.
yes, absolutely. So I feel like me going to Giverny and starting to work there in 1985 has been an enormous influence in my life of light and color and nuance, beauty, and I, of course, photograph it and paint it.
Again, just because we know who you are, but you're also as much known as for your garden work and your work in the garden, and as your artwork. So you've combined these two things, which was perfect in Monet's gardens.
Yeah.
So and by this time in your life, those things are not two things; they're kind of one thing. The art and the garden has become almost a unified system.
Yes, absolutely.
But now you're kind of you've had Monet as a muse.
Yes.
But now you're seeking you're kind of, sometimes you have to leave your muse. You keep something, but you leave something.
I think when you're well educated, like your parents educate you or your life educates you, when you have grown your roots, you've been fed well by inspiration. You don't have to repeat that. You hopefully can express from your experience. It's like what has informed me, what has helped raise me. When I bring people to Giverny, to Monet's garden, I get a lump in my throat a lot of times because I feel like I'm introducing them to my family, to what has raised me.
And you do that trip almost every year, don't you?
I do.
And you take groups. Let's talk a little bit about that so people know if they want to come, that they can come.
Yeah. I bring 2 small groups a year. One this coming year, I'll bring a group in early June and one in September. So they'll be able to choose if they want to come to the spring, which is incredible, or to the autumn, which is also beautiful. Yeah, and that's to photograph and paint and to learn about the gardens.
But that brings us back to now you're kind of heading somewhere else, and this is somewhere else, and it was just and it's going, and this isn't the last stop.
No,
This is heading into again another world of reduction.
It's been putting maybe more of, when we get a little bit more abstract. It is a little bit more confidence in who we are and what the place is that's inspiring us. I'm just trying to put more of myself into a place. And I will never be an impressionist painter. And even though I love painting outdoors and I love painting on the cliffs or in the garden, I'm not going to be a regular plein air painter. And we have magnificent ones here.
And yours has always been also an interior search, and that requires a different skill set.
Exactly.
You're bringing the outside there, and then now what it's looked like filtered through your interior, and that's kind of, I think, what the process is. I think we're going to break here, and we'll be back. I'm Mark Baer. You're watching Conversations and Collaborations, and I'm with Elizabeth Murray, and we'll be back in one moment.